So I already recorded this reading, but things happen in a unique way in life, so we're starting over, and the message is a lot clearer now, because I actually know what we're talking about. So let's start out with talking about a Cherokee Native American story, parable. An old Cherokee is teaching his grandson about life. "A fight is going on inside me," he said to the boy. "It is a terrible fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego." He continued, "The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you, and inside every other person too." The grandson thought about it for a minute, and then he asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." So the reason I read this is because I started out with these two energies that I had a hard time understanding. Like I said, I already did this reading. The first energy was very clearly talking about logic and reasoning. And I did have the Ace of Swords accompanying this Queen of Swords here. I mentioned a lot about beginnings. And I saw the womb of potential, which made me think also about pregnancy and birth and beginnings. But this is just one side, the logical side. And then we went over to this side, which is all about security, with the pentacles. And I was talking about how in order to achieve this security, this new foundation of security that you're aiming for, you're using your feelings, your intuition to guide you. And you're actually holding on to outdated modes of thinking about what security is and how to obtain it. And it's coming too direct. It's coming too close to contact with the thing that is opposing you. Right? Like that parable, the good and the evil. It's like you see the evil, so you fight it. But directly fighting the evil actually won't do in this situation. What it will lead to is getting what you think you wanted. Yet it's full of falsehood, it's full of illusion. And its basis is a confusion, an unconscious. So the moon, the unconscious, shows a dog and a wolf. You could say two wolves, right? And I was talking here about how this dog and this wolf are these two parts of ourselves. When I did the reading, I didn't even realize how connected this was to the story, to this Cherokee story, and then I remembered it as I was trying to upload. So I looked it up. We also have a crab here in the moon. And the crab is, well, Cancer is ruled by the moon. The crab can be, the sign of Cancer, the crab can be really defensive. They can be moody. They can be overly emotional. Relying too much on the emotion can actually have negative consequences. The dog, I was saying, would be like the more rational part, the more domesticated part. The wolf would be the more primitive part of the brain. And then as I kept pulling out cards, relying on this reasoning, leads to victory, leads to completion, leads to fulfillment. And then there's these two cards that again are kind of contradictory energies. We start off with a celebration, which would be using your reasoning. You get to, the moment I begin to celebrate myself and focus on my success is the moment I begin living. But then going back to that primitive brain that just kind of goes with the emotion and tries to hold on to outdated modes of security. The qualities I dislike in others are disowned parts of my shadow. So there's a need for shadow work. And, you know, the unconscious with the moon is very much talking about shadow work being necessary. But back to that celebration of self. You are the magnificence of the cosmos, snuggling down into the layers of a physical being to experience a walk upon this earth. All that expanse, squeezed and gently held in earth form, sometimes this feels tricky to hold so much power deep within, but relax and enjoy the adventure, immersion, and that's card number 4. I believe 4 is the Emperor. So there is a way to grow and build, but do it through celebration of self rather than through fighting, antagonizing, criticizing, all of that. And just as we speak about that, we have this underneath. Releasing anger from the past sets me free in the present. We have these 2 cards here to kind of clarify, close off. We have the Womb of Potential, which is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is an unforeseen change, which will shift your whole reality. And as I was doing this reading, I was talking about it kind of being something from the universe. Not in the realm of humanity, even though humanity is in this constant struggle. Humanity is in strife. Humanity is creating conflict. The universe brings peace. And humanity does not need to know how or why or what that means in practical form. Trinity here, I mean, I know that religious people would know what the Trinity is, the Mother, the Son, the Holy Ghost, right? But I don't know much about what this card signifies, and I don't want to try. I don't have the booklet with me, so I don't want to even try. But if it means something to you, here it is. I suppose it is like 3 different aspects of self, or 3 different aspects of the whole collective. Maybe unfolding, maybe opening with this flower here around it. Okay, hope this works.